All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're looking at something pretty fascinating, especially for anyone who's ever had that uh-oh, what now moment after college. You're holding a degree, but you feel totally adrift. We're going to dive into the world of high-growth sales and see how it's being framed as a really powerful and maybe unexpected career path. And boom, it all kicks off with this really powerful quote from Ayush Duggal, the CEO of Verve School. He says, 73% of graduates feel completely lost. I mean, think about that. That's nearly 3 out of every 4 people coming out of college feeling directionless. And he says, I was that graduate. This is the core problem, the feeling he set out to solve. Okay, so let's dig into the core argument here, which is pretty bold. The fundamental idea behind Verve School is that the traditional system is broken. That path from college to career that we're all told about, for so many young people, especially in India, it's just not working anymore. You know the feeling, right? You did everything you were supposed to. You went to the classes, you studied for the exams, you got the grades, you walked away with that piece of paper. You followed the playbook perfectly.
But then, you get out there into the real world and slam, you hit this wall. You find yourself in one job interview after another, and employers keep asking for these practical, hands-on skills that your textbook-heavy education just never covered. It's a huge disconnect.
And man, the hit to your confidence, it's huge, right? That feeling of accomplishment from graduating starts to fade. And pretty soon you just feel invisible. You're sending out resumes into a void, feeling completely undervalued by a job market that doesn't get you.
Which, of course, leads you to ask that horrible question. Is it me? Am I the problem? Well, according to Verve School's founder, the answer is a huge, resounding no. The problem isn't you. The problem is an outdated educational system that's just not connected to what the world actually needs.
Okay, so if that old traditional path is broken, where do you go? What's the alternative? Well, this is the pivot. The answer they propose is a career that a lot of people write off or just don't think about: high-growth sales.
And look, let's just be honest for a second. Sales has a reputation, right? People think it's pushy, it's too aggressive, maybe it's not cool or prestigious. But this quote from the founder hits it head on. He's basically saying, yeah, I heard all that. And if I had listened to that noise, I'd still be stuck.
So here's the solution they actually built. Verve School is a sales career accelerator, and it's zero cost to you. It's designed for recent grads who have strong English skills. And get this, the training is sponsored by the companies that want to hire you. Their goal is to get you placed in a great startup, making an average of 6 lakhs per year in just 2 weeks. And they do it in these tiny, focus groups of just 5 or 6 people.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. To make this work, you have to completely change how you think about what sales even is. We're not talking about aggressive tactics or memorizing scripts. The whole idea is that modern effective sales is really just applied psychology. It's about understanding people on a deep level.
And this table just lays it out so perfectly. The old way of selling, the product is the star of the show. It's all about rattling off features, using pressure, hitting your quota. The new way, the consultative way, flips that script entirely. Now, the customer is the hero of the story. Your job isn't to sell. It's to be a trusted consultant who helps them solve their problem. The result? They feel valued.
So how do you actually do that? Well, it's all about understanding some basic human psychology. Take confirmation bias. Instead of telling a customer they're wrong, which just makes them defensive, you find something you can agree on and build from there. Or the anchoring effect. You know that the very first impression sets the tone for everything else. It's about listening for the emotion behind the words, not just the words themselves, and guiding them with questions until they have that aha moment on their own. All right, so you've got the psychology, but you need a roadmap, right? A repeatable system to put it all into practice. And the framework they teach is a proven methodology called the straight line persuasion system. Yep, it was developed by Jordan Belfort. But let's strip away all the Hollywood stuff for a second. At its core, the straight line is exactly what it sounds like. It's the shortest, most efficient path from hello to yes. And the ultimate goal here, the real endgame, isn't to trick or manipulate. It's to transfer your genuine certainty about the solution to the other person. And it's not some kind of mysterious art. It's a clear 5-step blueprint that anyone can learn. You start by setting the tone and leading the conversation. Then you do deep discovery to really understand their pain points. Only then do you present your product as the obvious solution. You learn how to handle their objections gracefully, and finally, when the certainty is there on both sides, you ask for the business with total confidence.
Now, that certainty we keep talking about, it's actually a two-parter. First, you have logical certainty. That's the brain part. It has to make sense on paper. The facts, the figures, the ROI. But then, and this is maybe even more important, you have emotional certainty. That's the heart part. It's about trust and rapport and that gut feeling that says, this just feels right. You need to build both.
Okay, so that's the system, that's the psychology. It all sounds great in theory. But does it actually work? Let's look at what happens when real people go through this program and see how they go from feeling unsure to, well, unstoppable.
Just check out this story of Bobby KJ. Here's an engineering grad with 0 sales experience and a 1-year gap on his resume. Talk about a tough spot, right? He joins in February. By March, he's already placed at a top company. And by June, he earned almost 90,000 rupees in a single month. That's an insane transformation in just a few months.
And here's Manasi Rodi, circling right back to that core idea we started with. She puts it so perfectly. I realized that the real world does not care about my degree. So what did she do? She took the initiative to go out and build the skills that actually matter to employers.
And you might think, okay, sure, but this isn't for a tech person. Well, think again. Lalit had a computer science degree and felt completely lost. He was supposed to be in a high-demand field, but it wasn't working for him. He found his path in sales and became a top performer. It just goes to show this is about a mindset, not a specific background.
And that really brings us to the final thought here, the big takeaway. The idea being presented is that the challenge isn't learning how to sell. That's a skill. It's teachable. The real question is for you. It's a question of whether you're ready to stop settling for a path that isn't working and start demanding more for yourself and your career. Pretty powerful stuff to think about.